Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to No Point Gaming. This is another Let's Look At episode. Today we're going to take a look at a game from Swing Swing Submarine. It is called Seasons After Fall. It is a story of, they call you a seed, almost like a spirit, who takes control of a fox and attempts to get the season's powers from the ancients in the forests. So, we're going to take a quick look at the menus. So far, we got our standard start game setting, credits, extras, little collectibles that you can collect that show up there. Settings is the important part. So, standard audio settings, it does have localization in. So, for subtitles and all that kind of jazz, it's good for that. Music, I'm not going to lie, the music is really nice. It really fits the game well. Same with the voices, same with the sound effects. It all blends really nice together. They artistically, they did a good job on the audio and graphics, but we'll touch on that here in a second. Languages, you can select your language and all that. Let's go back to English. You can choose if you want subtitles or not, and the voices, what.
Da bist du ja endlich.
Yeah, there you go.
Here you are.
Alright, so that's audio. Video! We got minimal video settings, but I mean, it's a 2D game. It is very nice looking. You got your standard resolution. You got your full screen, your VSync, and your cap FPS. One thing that I ran into, because I do have multiple displays, there's no setting which display you can put it on. Luckily, it is a Unity game, and you can change that in the registry if you know how to, or you can look it up if you're feeling brave or you're comfortable with that kind of thing, which I did. But anyone with multiple displays, it was actually on my left monitor, which I use that for information and web surfing and all that kind of stuff. My games are on my main monitor. So that's my only complaint about the video settings. Controls, you can't change the controls or anything, but I mean, they're pretty standard, they're pretty comfortable. I do notice a little bit of a text off screen there. The power of the season's just the right, but it's no big deal. So I skipped the opening cinematic just because you guys are going to want to pay attention to that ish, because this is a very story driven game per se. So let's get started. So this happens just after the seed, the spirit, pops out of the ground. Standard controls, WASD to move around, left click to bark, space to jump, all that good jazz. So graphically speaking, this game is very nice looking. They did a good job on the artistic style of it, the aesthetics. It all looks very nice together. Now this is a 2D puzzle platformer. The puzzles aren't too complicated from what I've seen so far. I am a few hours in. So we gotta try and get this fox. We gotta lure the fox. Seems like a terrible thing. Okay, so he's gonna follow us. He's curious. Lead him right into the middle here. Now let's take control of the fox with her spirit or her seed. Sorry, fox. I'm just gonna enter your body and control you. Hope you don't mind. I'm still curious on who's actually talking.
Oh, I know.
So now you can actually jump around and whatnot.
Travel beyond the tall grass. You'll come to the edge of the woods.
The animations on the fox are pretty nice too.
It has
Which way do we go?
something I need,
Up here?
and you alone can get it from me. You'll realize what it is when you see it. But I won't give the surprise away.
She's not gonna give the surprise away. So what we're doing is we are looking for
You go, little
one of the ancients.
run, jump, enjoy your new body. You won't have a
I was
chance
just born and they already gave me a new body. Apparently mine wasn't good enough. Nice little blades of grass tossing up in the air, which is a nice little effect. Like I said, graphically this game is very nice and it's very pleasant to look at. It's all about nature. There's absolutely no point in jumping up there either. So this first little part is just kind of, I don't want to say it's the, let's hop up there. I don't want to say it's the tutorial because it's not really, but you see these little glowing orbs that you can bark at and they'll activate. Just like we just saw with that vine that pushed its way out. We barked at it and it ended up coming out.
You see these totems lying in the path?
Yeah, the creepy ass totems.
Interesting, aren't they? They come with beneath.
Alright, so
Don't say too much about them when you see the garden.
the game starts getting good once you start getting a couple seasons. Because then you start having to think about what you're doing. Not that the puzzles are really complicated or anything, however, once you start realizing all the different things that you can do in each season, like with the winter season and fall season, the winter will freeze ice. There we go. But when you switch over to fall, it'll melt the ice, but it'll be like a geyser pushing up. And then there's a season that'll increase that amount that actually pushes up. And like I said, the beginning of this is very simplistic. Because there's not much change in the actual setting because you don't have those other seasons to progress. So more of it's just running through it. And like I said, the puzzles aren't even that challenging. They're just, it's more the thought process that you got to think about when you're going to approach a certain situation that you're in. It's like, okay, so I need to do this, then I need to do this, then I need to do this. Switching seasons. So here we go with the big sleepy bear. Now he is the Ancient of Winter, if I recall correctly. And I find that actually kind of funny, considering bears hibernate. So I mean, I guess that's why this guy's sleeping. Glowing crotch bear. Not actually, but you know. So here we are. Now we have to bring this season back where we came from. Or this ancient spirit. And back to sleep he goes. So what we can do when we're bringing a season back to the
You're on the way
main
back.
base, as we'll call it,
Fragment of winter. I think it's trying to communicate with you.
this right here can work in multiple seasons.
Twice, it's a bit dead.
So here we go. Changing over to winter. This thing, a little bead will go through the root, and then you have to hit it. And there's a snowball. We can climb on and actually get back up. So let's just run. So this is where changing seasons up will happen, because we need this vine, which won't grow in winter. So you can start seeing some of the tiny mechanics happen. Let's just get this guy back to the beginning.
Quicker than I thought. Just goes to show, you can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, you thought I was an idiot.
Sanctuary. Don't let it out of your sight.
I mean, I don't blame you. Here we go. We need to make another snowball. Okay, so it's over there. Gotta climb up here, and boink. And spits out the snowball. Nice little climb animation for a fox. I mean, it looks scared to death when it's doing it, but I will say this, the beginning of the game is kind of slow. Could have been more because, well, I mean, even now it just seems slow than what it normally should. But I've been playing on my main file, and it's been, when I'm up to 3 seasons, and you're constantly switching throughout them, trying to get through different areas and finding out what works and what doesn't, and it's a lot more interesting. But I don't know how far I'm going to go with this file.
The Guardian of Winter told you.
No, he was quiet. He just stared at me, made a little glowy crotch, and gave me this spirit to follow.
The Guardian is so bad-tempered that even the animals don't venture into this forest.
I just did. Now, when you're bringing the season back to the main base, it kind of gives you an idea of where you're supposed to go.
So old, but they tend to talk.
So it tends to go ahead a little bit.
They're here to protect the fragments. You just have to learn how to let
Okay. Boink. See the little node going back through the vine. And there's our snowball. And there we are. Oh no! What am I doing? There's the little thing going through the vine again. Let's not do that again, shall we? Wait for the snowball. Change back into summer. And there we go. We are across. Now this should be main base area. Sanctuary. And that's going to block your path. I think that's just to keep people from going back to certain areas. Now there are some secrets that we did miss that you kind of have to try and figure out. Some of it at the beginning you can't really, there's no way of knowing unless you did a second playthrough, because some of the mechanics aren't actually introduced till later, but they're still available. In like that section where we just got the winter spirit and back, there are sections of that those mechanics don't actually happen till we go to get the second season. Oh, is his paw hurt? He's holding it up.
I'll be as careful as I can, but it's still a tricky procedure. I think it would be best for the fox to get out of the way.
Wait, weren't you just saying that you had to separate me from the fox? Poor little fox. Has no idea what just happened. And now we are combined with the season of winter, so we can switch to winter. And
Now it's winter for
I
good.
don't know what to call the other season because it was
Ceremonies.
looked like summer, but you get summer later on. It's the last element that you actually get. So I don't know if there's a secret fifth season that I don't know about, but was he on this side? Yes, he was. No.
Listen, Jesse. There are 4 seasons, 4 guardians. If you know for the other seasons, you can invoke them at any time. But to do that, we need the fragments. The second guardian lives in a swamp further to the west. I should warn you, this one doesn't like visitors.
I thought the bear didn't like visitors.
Nice and quiet. Yeah, it's that way. Straight ahead.
The narrative is very nice. They chose a good voice actor for it too. I mean, it fits with the aesthetic. I find, anyways.
This may surprise you, little sea. I envy you. I too would like to run. Feel the wind on my face and the ice under my paws. But I can't. Not until we found all the fragments. We must have them to perform the ritual.
Nice little reflection.
The ritual of the seasons. That's what the guardians call it.
So here's one of those ice things that end up melting.
Guardians talk about.
You can also explode pieces of it if you need be.
Seasons can change the course of a life. If that's true, it means my life can be transformed, and yours too. I could leave the sanctuary at last, and you could, I don't know, all your dreams could come true. You must have some dreams.
I was just born. How can I have dreams? I dream of fields. Glowing meadows. As a fox. I did that. So this is one of the mechanics I was talking about earlier. This little guy that's running away from me. Somebody doesn't want us here. So many things that were causing this fox that he's just scared shitless. It's great. I mean, not unless you PETA, but... So this guy's trapped in there. Let's just make a little explosion. Trim that down a little bit. So we can actually hop up here.
We're about to enter the territory of the guardian of the floor. It can be unpredictable. Watch out it doesn't harm you and your flock.
So we got a vine in the way. So this is one of the mechanics that you kind of saw in the first journey to get the season, I guess we'll say. Okay, I guess we get that on the way back. Bird's just not happy with us. He does not want us around. I guess we were warned that they don't like visitors.
When you hear the whistling of the wind, the guardian can't be far away. But be very careful.
Poor little bugs too. We bark at them and I'm going to use the word scared again. They just get scared and they blow up. So usually going toward the first any kind of season, it tends to be like running through, almost. At least for the first couple, because you can't really switch them, but... He didn't want us around, tried to stop us, and then he just willing to give up his spirit. I mean, everything has to have quirks in it, right? So, let's go ahead and bring this guy. Pop this guy out of the ground. Make him run. Okay, so what we gotta do, we gotta change to fall. Got a nice little geyser. We're gonna send this guy into the water. Change it back to winter. And explode him. One little movement control thing I have a little bit of complaint about is when you're switching from going left to right. Because it has a bit of delay, you aren't immediately going. So if you're like on a tiny platform, such say this leaf, and you need to quickly, you want to get a running start to your jump, then it's kind of awkward. It's not a big deal. I mean, you kind of get used to it too, but it is kind of awkward. Ooh, this guy just got enlarged. Change that, because they do die if they hit water, and I don't know if there is water over here or not. But it doesn't look like it.
It's okay. The Guardian of the Floor has finally gone back to sleep. You're safe now.
Good.
Follow the fragment it gave you.
Bastard.
It will know the way to the left.
Flannel on leaf. So it's this kind of situation where the switching back and forth kind of gets annoying. Okay, so we probably need this guy. Yeah, don't mind me. Little fragment. Start beckoning at you if you don't move fast enough. Get them enlarged, but not drowned. Oh no! Come back. Actually, you know what? You might want to be over there. Okay. Let explode. There we go. Send you over this way. Giant crab things. Am I gonna even need him? Let's try and find that out. I don't think I'm going to. So far we're just running all the way back. Oh, but we gotta get up there and we can't jump up that. Because that's where the ancient knocked us down. Didn't want us being his visitor. So I'm assuming I gotta climb up here. Let's get up here. Change over and let's jump on some leaves. So wait for this little thing to go through. Boink. Spit out a snowball and we should be able to get up now. Alright. So I mean, aside from what I've already talked about, there's not much else to say about the game. it gets more interesting once you have a couple seasons and you're going for like your third one. Can I just jump up this? Yes, I can. Okay. The audio is nice. I obviously turned the audio down so you guys can actually hear my voice and all that kind of stuff, but the audio, the sound effects, the narrative is all very nice. So this geyser's not going to be as tall anymore. Change it back into winter. And hop up. Don't think we need up there.
It's not pretty brainy for such a little seed. And you'll see, once you've absorbed this second fragment, you'll be even smarter.
Going as fast as I can, fragment. I'm not too sure what these trees are, to be honest. They tend to stop there and do their little doodle. I mean, theoretically, I wouldn't think that I'm the only seed, as we're called. But, I don't know. What makes you special? What makes you the reason that you can summon the ancients? Here we go, a little cinematic. Blocking our way so we can't go back there. Which, you know what, it kind of sucks because that means you can't go back for secrets or anything. So if you're a completionist, kind of ruins it for you, unless you know exactly what you're looking for. The next season afterwards is spring, and between fall, spring, and winter you start growing mushrooms. There's some mushrooms that you need in spring to start dousing more water, raises water levels so you can do certain different things like freeze part of it so you can jump on glaciers. Switch over to fall to pop up the mushrooms and all that kind of stuff, and it starts to get more complex, and as the game goes on, that's kind of the idea, is it gets more and more complex, just like any puzzle game, really. So I mean, the cute little story that goes along with it, the audio is amazing, it is really, really nice, it fits the aesthetic, the graphics, the drawings and all that is just, it looks great. It's just a neat little fun game to pick up and play. It's only a few hours long. Once you get all the seasons, that's not it. There's more to it. Which is another nice thing. I mean, if you just had to get the 4 seasons and that was it, I already have 2. So well, you kind of have to.
Which region would you like to explore now? You're spoiled for choice. But may I make a suggestion? You could use the power of the seasons to reach the entrance to this cave. But just a suggestion.
So you get spring next. It just said that we had a choice, but we really don't. So this is just move your mouse left or right, or depending on where it is on the spindle, in that direction, to select what season you wanted to change to. They did a really good job on the actual switching seasons. We've gone up there, it's down here. I mean, like, there's obviously winter, switches over to fall. Now we got mushrooms growing so we can actually get up here. So, game's nice. It's a simple platformer, something to pick up if you got a little bit of time to play. Like I said, it's probably around 5-hour mark. Can't jump in water, so we need to freeze it. The graphics are nice, the audio is nice, the gameplay is fun.
Now mastered how to
It's
use
very
the
straightforward,
What a stroke of luck.
so
Third
keep that in
guardian
mind.
must be on this page.
And with that said, this has been Seasons After Fall.
No time to waste.
So that's a wrap up of this video. Gives a nice little sweet look into of Seasons After Fall from Swing Swing Submarine. It's a fun game. It's a pretty game. It's a cute story. I mean, if nothing else, it's fun. It's not badly priced either. It's pretty cheap. So with that said, I'm Blindstone. This has been No Point Gaming. If you like this video, give us a like. If you didn't, well, there's always the dislike button over there. If you like our content and what we're doing, every subscription helps. Please hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it very much. If you have any feedback for us, please leave a comment in the section below. And with that said, I'm signing off. Thanks for watching.